So we made it down. What do you think? You can make it up?
I don't know. I'll give it a shot.
You know, the internet's kind of a funny place, though. Boom.
I wish I could tell you it was that easy, but that's an edited version of what I actually hope to do someday. Hopefully you checked out my last video where I rode down Horsethief Bench. I'll put a link in the description. If you know the lines, it's rideable, but it was still pretty sketchy on my hardtail. As far as going up, this is pretty much the preferred method. My goal is to shoot an uncut video of the entire climb. Let's take a look at my blueprint for going from Shredit to reality. Here we go. This is a running commentary of my run from the bottom all the way to the top, and I'm going to try to break down what it's going to take to make this climb. For starters, I'm going to need to clean up this bottom section. There's going to be a lot of hopping going on here, but if I can find a day that's a little bit cooler and maybe there's some moisture in the ground, it's going to make this bottom section a lot easier. Believe it or not, all these baby head rocks and these small moves are a lot harder than some of the crux moves in the middle. I made it kind of far, but already you can see I'm taking a rest and I'm already out of breath. So I'm definitely going to need to work on my conditioning a little bit as well. I'm expecting this entire climb to probably take 4 to 5 minutes of a pretty anaerobic effort. This run with some stops and some dabs, I try to keep moving the entire time, and it took me about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna have to try to do that in half the time. Once I get moving again, it was a super silly mess up right there. My tire slipped off the rock. I burnt my tire. And that was my first dab. So if this was a trials competition, I would be at 1 dab right now.
That stuff looks like it would be harder, but that's just like make it or break it.
Yeah,
like, correct,
you're still correct. And then you get that, you've had that break right in there. You could track stand on that rock and catch your breath.
Back on the trail. This is the slab that most people ride down, but that's not going to be the best way up. The best way up is going to be to go all the way over to this corner and then try to get turned around and then take the notch up. My line was a little bit off in here. This was my first time to this section because I tried a couple times prior and I kept screwing it up at the bottom. So this was my first time making it this far up the hill and actually getting a look at it. So another key to helping me out making it up this climb is going to just be familiarizing myself with the climb a little bit more. A lot of times when you make a Shredit, which was that 1 minute edit that I made at the beginning, you can just try things over and over, you can session them, you throw it together, you look like a rock star. So right now we're actually at 3 dabs because I dabbed twice there. So now I get back on the bike. A lot of times with my Trail Boss videos, I try to choose an entire trail, and instead of just picking a move here or there and throwing it all together, I try to just pick one trail and ride it from start to finish. So this part right here looks like it would be pretty hard, but it's actually fairly easy if you're a proficient trials rider because there's a lot of big crew moves. But here's my second mistake. I get lined up and I'm using my tire just to lock in and get some balance, to take a little bit of breather. But when I go up here, I'm gonna need to turn around at that point. I can't go up onto this stair step facing the wrong way like I did this time. This was just bad timing on my part. And now again, it was about close to 90 degrees out. You're in the sun, it's super hot, and you're gonna have to train for this climb. So I'm sitting down, taking a break, and as long as it's just rubber touching rocks, it's not a dab in my book. So doing that, getting turned around, and just wasting a whole bunch of energy right here that I didn't need to be wasting if I just turned around when I climbed up to this section. So now I already know that I'm 3 dabs in and there's no sense in killing myself. So I'm just trying to get a little bit of a breather because all this stuff is anaerobic, and I'm pretty sure Horsethief Bench sits at about 4,000 feet. So it's definitely not the easiest thing for a sea level guy to try to do. And then now I'm just backing my bike up, and another mistake is right here, I should have dropped into 1 harder gear, because when I do go for this move, it's a little bit of a combination of being tired, but it's also a combination of being in a tiny bit too low of a gear, so that when I go for this move and I only have 1 full pedal revolution, which I start right about any second, when I start right here, I just kind of run out of gear too easy. I step back, you can see that my foot goes down, and I probably didn't need to fall right there, but I kind of tweaked my ankle a little bit weird, so I just collapsed my body to not screw up my ankle. I was out of breath, I was fine though. I just kind of like fell down to take any kind of pressure off my ankle there, because you saw it kind of roll under.
Well, considering my best video this year has me not cleaning stuff.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna go again? Awesome, bud. Let me get out of your way here.
Oh, you're not.
No, you are not in the way.
In case I fall, I got something.
And now I dropped my bike into a slightly harder gear, and I'm gonna go for this move again. So the tricky thing about this climb is it's not super tall right here. It's a completely reasonable step up for a trials ride or anything like that. It's probably only about 30 inches, but you only have 1 pedal revolution to do it. And if you fall to your right, you're falling pretty far down. Now this section, it gets kind of easy here, believe it or not, but you're pretty tired, and a lot of these tiny stair step moves, you just keep, you're running out of gas. So I'm just trying to be careful here. The frustrating part is that there's no section long enough to get in a good pedal stroke, because I feel like with some speed, you probably could flow up this a lot easier, but there's just nowhere to get a good pedal stroke in. Right here, my strategy was to put my seat up, and I shifted into another lower gear, and now I'm in a super low gear, which allowed me to climb up that because I was kind of tired of hopping. But now you'll see the problem was when I go for this next step up, you have a big runway, and unfortunately I was in way too low of a gear. So I go to pedal up for the step up. It's not big at all, but I just spun out way too easy, and I couldn't unclip. So I just fell over to my side. So if you're keeping score, and this was a trials competition, now we're at 13 points, because when you fall over and hit any other body part other than your foot, it's a 5. You can see the look on my face. I'm pretty gassed. You're just out there baking in the sun. There's all kinds of people watching, and I don't want to do this as a Shredit where I just do all these moves and take breaks in between and make them look as good as possible. I was trying to do the closest representation to a full run as possible to kind of familiarize myself with what it's going to take if I ever do this climb. So that's why I came up a little bit short on that relatively small step up, and then now pretty home free.
You know, the internet's kind of a funny place, though. Boom. The internet is a funny place. They don't care about professional videos. They don't care about whether you succeed or not. They just want to see you fail.
Oh, I delivered.
You delivered. Okay, well, that's success.
That was awesome. Then that. Was it worth it?
You bet. An unedited clip from the bottom to the top is one of my goals and something that I continue to strive for. This video is a lot different than anything I've posted in the past, so I'm curious to know what you think. comment below, and make sure you subscribe so you can see me clear this trail in the future.